about anything to fight against his own government. I mean, it's good to use
dancing away.
And now the same deception is being used to take us into another conflict which cannot and will not be solved by British bombing. There are tens and hundreds of thousands of us saying stand behind Jeremy Corbyn. Because Cameron's case, the only thing that can be said about it is it almost makes Tony Blair's dodgy dossiers look good.
Just 6 months into this government, and it's absolutely clear what its priorities are. Its priorities are austerity for you and war everywhere else. These are the same people who are destroying the NHS, who are destroying the welfare state, who are attacking the trade unions, who want to drop bombs on Syria. And with every bomb that's dropped, another hospital goes unbuilt. The Labour Foreign Secretary today, Hilary Benn, was one of those MPs that voted for the Iraq war. Learn the lesson. You were wrong then. You're wrong now.
Saudi Arabia is the biggest external funder of ISIS in the world. That's our ally. That's a nice situation, isn't it? And of course Turkey. Turkey is the country that is buying a lot of the oil that ISIL is producing. that funds ISIL more than anything else. So two of the allies we're going into this stupid war with are the two people we should be criticising. Those are the two countries that we should be working to diffuse and to separate from ISIL.
14 years of this so-called war on terror. And who can stand there with a straight face and say that that war on terror has been a success? It hasn't. It has been one of the great catastrophic failures of modern times. 14 years since the atrocities committed by Al-Qaeda in the United States. And in that time, terrorists are stronger and more powerful and more extreme than they have ever been. Terrorist attacks at that peak. You could make an argument that Al-Qaeda is on the verge of defeat. They're not at the hands of the West. At the hands of ISIS, a group even more gruesome and murderous than them. And every time we're told that we have to intervene, because if we don't, it will be so much worse, but look at every single intervention. And it reminds me of a quote often ascribed to Albert Einstein, that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And that is what we're talking about today. And that is why the only solution to this, a lasting solution, is a national unity government in Syria that commands the support of the overwhelming majority of the population.
Have we learned nothing? Is the continually delayed Chilcot report preventing us from articulating what we already know? The ultimate demagoguery of politics that would have what passes for our security services held to ransom by spin doctors and plagiarizers of PhD theses. We know enough to tell that we've been here before, that raining bombs solves nothing, inflames tenfold, punishes most the innocent. The industry of war, the business of war, pursues its own logic. The naked expression of mercenary terror, whether in state hands, leaving forced migration and unlivable lands in its wake.
We have seen an unprecedented rise in Islamophobia and racism, depicting Muslims as the enemy within. Well, I say it's Islamophobia and racism that's the enemy, not Muslims.
Let's hear from all of you. I'm going to read you some words. Repeat them. Don't bomb Syria!
Don't bomb Syria!
Don't bomb Syria!
Don't bomb Syria!
Don't attack Syria!
Don't attack Syria!
Global women's strike!
Global women's strike!
Not in my name!
Not in my name!
Not in my name!
Not in my name!
We are many!
We are many!
We are many!
We are many!
The press are asking me why I'm here. I'm here because I'm tired of being associated with terrorism. I'm tired of my tax money going towards violent solutions for problems of injustice. There is no conscientious objection in this country anymore. Most war is done by technology, and all our tax money goes to that. We're not able to remove our tax money and have it taken towards peaceful resolution of conflict. I'm tired of that, and that's why I'm here. The depleted uranium that was dropped in Iraq in my name will cause birth defects in Iraq for 50,000 years. Who's the terrorist?
And so I want to join with everyone who's spoken so far, and I'm sure every one of you and of millions in the country, in saying this. Jeremy Corbyn was right over Iraq, he's right over Syria, and all the Labour members of Parliament should be behind him in the lobby on Wednesday. On the news this morning, the president of our NATO ally, Turkey, is quoted as saying this: Russia is playing with fire, attacking oil trucks coming out of Syria. You know, when I first heard that, I thought it was a conspiracy theory. But the president of Turkey himself has this day confirmed that Turkey is the principal ally of ISIS and Al-Qaeda and all of those who have dragged Syria into the bloody mess that it is today. All these previous wars, they've all gone so well, haven't they? I mean, what could go wrong if we bomb and attack another one? We broke Iraq into 100 pieces, 1 million are dead, and fanatic extremism is cascading all over the world. We bombed Libya and destroyed it, and now ISIS are in control of a part of it, and Al-Qaeda in control of the rest. These wars have made every matter worse, and joining Syria to that long, miserable list of failures will go no better.
Dear friends, coming back from a country a few days ago which is bombed by terrorists virtually every week, a country called Pakistan, bombings that take place there, drone attacks, and nobody cares. I came back in time to read, not to listen to, David Cameron's speech explaining the reasons why he wants this country to go to war. It is the most incoherent set of arguments I have ever heard. I mean, judged even on their own merits, they simply don't make sense. Think of the vacuum created when the social infrastructure of these countries is destroyed. Think what happens to ordinary people. Think why people then go for extreme solutions. Hillary Ben any longer.
Yes, it's disgusting.
I'll tell you why. You see the face. You see the gestures. The body language is that of his father. The voice is that of his father. The ideas belong to George Bush and Tony Blair. And the obscenity of the Wahhabi regime in Saudi Arabia. You support the Saudis, Cameron and friends, you support the Saudis, you bow before them, you fall on your knees before them for their money, for their wealth. And that is the head of the octopus. Saudi Arabia, that's the head of the octopus. And then you support Israel unconditionally when it carries out continuous atrocities against the Palestinian people, and you want us to believe you're for human rights? We don't believe it. And as for these Labour members of Parliament,
Disgusting!
fighting and threatening their leader,
Disgusting!
saying they want a vote of conscience. Yes, I want blood on my conscience. Let me decide whether my conscience will be bloody or not. I say shame on you.
Shame on you!
Don't bomb Syria.
Don't bomb Syria! Don't bomb Syria!
Don't bomb Syria. Don't bomb Syria.
Don't bomb Syria! 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 Don't bomb Syria!
and we know that our further intervention is going to deepen the crisis. I sympathise with those people who look at the situation in Iraq, in Syria, and say something must be done. We agree something must be done. But bombing further is the opposite of what should be done. We cannot continue to repeat the same mistakes again and again and again. It is not the people of Paris or the people of London or the people of Brussels who pay the greatest price. It is the people of those countries that we occupy and we bomb, and we must not do it again. Do not bomb Syria. You do not do it in our name. Stand strong, resist, support Jeremy Corbyn, and let's say no more death as a result of UK intervention. Thank you.
I'm talking about the right wing in his own party. And I think the Parliamentary Labour Party and some in the shadow cabinet should be thoroughly ashamed of themselves for their behaviour over the last 2 months. The vast majority of them didn't vote for Jeremy Corbyn. They voted for the other 3 losing candidates. Can I remind them that those 3 between them got far fewer votes between them than Jeremy Corbyn got. He won Respect the right of people to oppose wars, and also remember, and people will remember this, if you vote for war to attack Jeremy Corbyn politically, if you vote for war to weaken him or to embarrass him, that is one of the most disgusting things that you will ever have done in your life.